he can actually, give him recognition. He can give him some reward, some good words, public acknowledgement of his work. All these things are very pleasing to a person in mode of passion, glorification, public glorification. These things are very pleasing to a person in mode of passion. Okay, but at the same time, he should also privately educate him that he is able to do these things because of Krishna's service, Krishna's empowerment, or because of this empowerment from Prabhupada. And he should encourage him to offer all the glorification which he is receiving to Prabhupada, to Krishna. So, this way, he should also help him to purify his mode of passion.
And how do you purify this? You can squeeze it, you can
I just told you how to purify.
by knowledge.
No, you should encourage him to offer the results to Krishna, offer the results to Prabhupada.
Okay.
Like suppose he gets some let us say he gets some award. Okay, you should tell him after you give him the award publicly, then you should tell him go and keep the award in Krishna's feet and pray to Krishna that because of your mercy I have received this award, and let me do more and more service to please you. Like that, he should teach him how not to get carried away by his passion, and then offer that back to Krishna.
Okay, that's useful. Because generally when we are using the passion of the devotees, that means we are, let's say, in emergency mode.
Yeah, but long term it will not help. It will cause so much of dissension among devotees. It will cause spoiling of relationship among devotees, and sometimes even sinful activities can be done. Like for example, you are trying to push devotees to do more and more book distribution. Okay, and you are trying to utilize their passion to distribute more and more books. After a certain point, they will start thinking about how to pull down the other person's score than how to increase their score.
Yes,
Always.
You understand?
yes. Yes, I see.
That's what passion will do.
That's a nice application.
One time, one devotee was telling that there was so much competition between devotees to do book distribution and to come first, that one party they actually punctured the bus of the other party
Wow.
so that they can't get into the bus and go for book distribution, and they will be delayed, and these people will go early and then they will distribute more books. This is what passion does. Passion is very dangerous.
So, you are saying about the capability part, right?
Yeah,
What if like we feel we are incapable of doing?
that's what we are supposed to feel.
But that
Mukam
comes
karoti
like
vachalam pangam langaya tekrim ekrupatam hamande sugrim tritaranam paramananda madhavam si chaitanya mission.
But that incapability leads to not doing this. That we feel
That is false ego.
Oh, that's false.
That's false ego, because you are thinking you are the doer. You understand?
Okay.
You are thinking that I will not be able to do it.
Yes.
Okay, so that's false ego.
But that is because I know my level. Na?
That's okay, but if you are given an opportunity, you should try.
You should try it.
You should try.
Survive and try that. Not
Yeah. I mean, it depends on what. Like for example, I asked you to sing.
Not like
No, I'm just saying, I'm giving classic example I'm saying. I asked you to sing Kirtan, okay? You are looking at this person, looking at that person, you are looking at that person. You should just sing. Because I just asked you to sing, right? It's not about, I told you it's not a public concert, just sing. This is closed place, even if you sing with bad voice, how does it matter? Like I don't have a very good voice, I'm not a singer. But first day I did Kirtan, right? I didn't bother what people will say, or I have done Kirtan in public programs also. Nobody is there, I'll just sing. What is that? Do the needful. You understand? So, when you are given a service, and you may not be the best person to do it, okay? But if you are given that service, you should just do it to the best of your ability. That doesn't mean that you will wantedly sing in a very bad way.
No, not like that. But through the course of service, if you're seeing your spiritual life is getting disturbed or it's going down, is it something like?
That's because you are doing service in mode of passion. It's not about expertise or non-expertise. If you do service in mode of goodness, then your spiritual life will not go down. Because even if you are not able to do it to the best of your ability, you will not be disturbed. You will put your best effort, then the result may not come out very nicely. You will not be disturbed because you know that you are giving your 100%. It will not be disturbed. That's what mode of goodness does to you. If you are doing something and what you are doing is disturbing you and your sadhana is going down, etc., that means you are serving in mode of passion. Provided that service is bona fide. I am just assuming that the service is bona fide. You are not doing some non-bona fide service. But sometimes you may need some break from some type of services, especially like services which involve listening to people's problems. Like I do services which, I deal with grudge of problems and things like that. Because you're always hearing from somebody saying this is problem, that's problem, that's problem, this problem.
Finally, you have a problem.
So then you need to have good touch with reality. That's why I teach, because it gives me some quality time with Bhagavatam.
Can I ask in specific after the class?
Yeah.
Like me, I want to ask question. My spiritual those time we give instruction one time, swimming time I got problem. I cannot swim. I saw my Guru Maharaj, everybody swimming, I also jump into the sea. Then I go in, then somebody said after that, next day come, he asking why you did it. I saw you Guru Maharaj, I also interested to do, but I cannot swim. I don't know to swim. He said, whatever service in Krishna consciousness you cannot do whatever you can do, that is a better, I say.
Correct. It's correct.
Okay,
Correct. You should know what you should do and what you should not do. Like if someone asks you to cook, and if you don't know how to cook, better tell I don't know how to cook. Don't think that I will do my best in my cooking.
The emergency to require that time, someone has to cook something.
But you should clearly tell I don't know how to cook. And then if still they are saying no, whatever you cook, you keep hot water and we will take it, that's fine. Then you do something.
I mean, these things work here in West, we have only 10-15 devotees, everything is an emergency.
That's okay, what I'm saying, then you should learn how to cook. See, if that is the case, then you should learn how to do some basic cooking. Actually, every man should know how to cook.
Basic?
Yeah.
Okay, this is very important. Every man, anybody who calls himself Vaishnava should know how to cook. Some basic cooking they should know. There may not be some expert cook who can do some 10,000 dishes, but some basic cooking.
But then the devotees who eat will have come and then
It's okay. It's okay. We should take that comment and we should see how we can improve next time. We should have a, what to say, see that's what you hear, that's what we are studying here. See, what is the mood of doing service? Like you see Brahma's mode of doing service. You see, Lord's instruction that what kind of mood Brahma should have. This is not just some theoretical discussion between Brahma and the Supreme Lord. This applies to creating 14 planetary system. This also applies to cooking khichdi. Why you are laughing? The same. The same principle applies to both. The principle applies to making 14 planetary system. The same principle applies to cooking khichdi also. If you think that, I am cooking khichdi because I am a great cook, you are finished. When you accept that service of cooking khichdi as the empowerment from the Lord, and if you depend on the Lord in cooking khichdi, then your khichdi will taste nicely. Of course, you have to put all the right spices and things like that also. But I am saying that mood is very important. That mood of doing anything in Krishna consciousness is very important. That's why these things, even though they are very contextual, like Brahma wants to create and then he is praying and then the Lord is replying, the context doesn't matter so much. It applies to everything. Even sweeping also it applies. The same conversation you can apply to sweeping the floor. That's why these are all like, any service you want to do, you should understand the mood of Brahma and the instructions of the Lord. Then the service will be nice. Okay, we should start. Everybody's back. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, please read.
Plans for such activities may appear to be material activities, but they are different in potency, being engaged in the satisfaction of the transcendental senses of the Supreme.
Yeah, so these activities are not mundane. Whatever we do in Krishna consciousness, they are not mundane, even though they may resemble mundane activities. But because they are engaged by the internal potency, therefore all these activities are great. Okay.
If sometimes Brahma is seen to be bewildered, as in the 10th canto, he is bewildered by seeing the action of the internal potency, that is also for his further advancement in transcendental service.
It's clear? We discussed this before.
What about us, Prabhu? That is also for our advancement in transcendental service.
See, please you understand, when a person becomes a devotee and commits himself to Krishna consciousness, Krishna is not a sadist. Okay? Please understand this. Krishna will not do anything in your life which is not for your advancement in Krishna consciousness. Krishna is not thinking how to trouble this fellow. What is the next trouble I can give him? It's not Krishna's job. In Upanishad, Krishna is told as Anandamayo Abhyasat. Okay. Krishna's job, Krishna is by nature blissful. And anyone who touches Krishna becomes by nature blissful. The definition of Krishna is enjoyment. By definition, he is enjoyment. He is the enjoyer. Bhaktaram ekatapasam, sarvulokam heshwaram, suhridam sarvabhutanam. Suhrid. Suhrid means what? There are different type of relatives. There is bandhu, means there is some relation. He is related to you. Okay. Then there is mitra, who is dear to you. Okay. Then there is suhrid. Means in his heart there is well-wishing for you. Suhrid. Within his heart there is only one feeling. What is that feeling? The feeling of well-wishing for you. So Krishna says, Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. And then Suta Goswami says, Suhrid Satam. So we should be rest assured that Krishna is not troubling us. Okay. Krishna wants us to be happy. It's very, very difficult to understand. It's extremely difficult to understand. So, whatever happens in devotee's life is simply meant for his advancement in Krishna consciousness. Okay, please read.
Only by love of Godhead can one know God, and not otherwise. The personality of Godhead cannot be seen with the material eyes, but he can be seen from within by spiritual eyes opened by the ointment of love of Godhead. As long as one's spiritual eyes are closed due to the dirty covering of matter, one cannot see the Lord. But when the dirt is removed by the process of devotional service, one can see the Lord without a doubt.
Yeah, so to the extent that the dirt is removed, to that extent we will be able to experience Krishna. Little dirt is removed, we can experience Krishna a little bit. Too much dirt is removed, we can experience Krishna too much. So, to the extent that dirt is removed, we will be able to experience Krishna. But everybody will be able to experience Krishna. It's not that nobody will be able to experience Krishna. Everybody will be able to experience Krishna. That in Kali Yuga, we are able to chant 16 rounds and follow 4 regulative principle means what?
Krishna's empowerment.
Yeah. It means that Krishna actually is enabling us to do it. Otherwise, in Kali Yuga, who can chant 16 rounds and follow 4 regulative principle? Kali Yuga is such a lousy place that actually to chant 16 rounds and follow 4 regulative principle is a big deal. And in Kali Yuga, there's a whole gang of people who will appreciate you for breaking regulative principle. And 90% of Kali Yuga economy is running by breaking a regulative principle. Kali Yuga economy, 90% is running by breaking regulative principle. Intoxication is a huge economy. They have French wine, Russian wine, Indian wine, American wine, this wine, that wine. And the meat eating is such a big industry. Slaughterhouse, huge industry. Pornography is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Pornography. Once I made some presentation to youth. In that I made some research of cost of sinful life.
Cost of sinful life.
Yeah, just cost of not following 4 regulative principles.
Cigarettes and
Just cost of not following 4 regulative principles. It runs to multiple billions of dollars. Cost of not following 4 regulative principles. And everything data I took from government websites. It's not like a
cost in what they pay to get, or in cost for repairing what they do.
it's just cost of repair. Like for example, the cost of treating drug abuse is multiple billion dollars all over the world. The cost of child trafficking, woman trafficking and pornography, multiple billion dollars all over the world. The cost of attending to diseases which are transmitted by illicit sex, multiple billion dollars all over the world. Cost of rehabilitation of prostitution, multiple billion dollars all over the world.
Rehabilitation of prostitution. What means?
Means that the prostitutes are there and their children are there. Who will take care of them? Government only has to take care of them. No. As long as a prostitute is young, she will earn money. When she becomes old, who will go to her? Nobody will go to her. Government only has to take care of them. And then they have children. And those children, who will take care of them? Government only will take care of them. Huge cost is there for prostitution. Actually, the Kali Yuga governments, they are taxing billions of dollars of tax money is simply going into paying for sinful life. Billions of dollars. Once I calculated. just to show that what is the cost of sinful life. So in Kali Yuga, it's very easy to break regulative principle. So the very fact that we are following regulative principle, chanting 16 rounds, means Krishna is actually empowering us to do that. Without Krishna's empowerment, we will not be able to do it. Okay.
Voluntary endeavor is the only qualification for spiritual perfection. Material acquisitions of wealth or education are not considered.
You see, this is very wonderful statement Prabhupada makes. Okay. Sometimes in ISKCON we think that unless we are educated, we cannot be big preachers. Okay. Sometimes there is so much emphasis on education. I am not saying that educated people should not be preachers, but I am saying that there is a misconception that unless one has good education, he cannot be a good preacher. There is a complete misconception. Prabhupada makes it very, very clear. Material acquisition of wealth or education is not considered. Is not considered. That doesn't mean that educated people cannot do Krishna consciousness. Everybody can do Krishna consciousness, but it simply means that to think that only educated people can do Krishna consciousness is a completely wrong conception. It's a completely wrong conception. There can be nicely educated people and they can preach, they should preach to educated people. Like Prabhupada said, scientists should preach to scientists and the PhD should preach to PhD. This is all good. But to limit things to education is a misconception. Many of Prabhupada disciples are uneducated according to material standard. Because they were all school dropouts, college dropouts, and they joined the movement. And they are all uneducated according to proper standard, according to material standard. But they are running one of the successful preaching movements in all over the world. So, therefore, we should be very, we should recognize and we should encourage everyone to practice and preach Krishna consciousness. Having an education is neither a great qualification, not having education is not a disqualification. We should understand both. Okay, please read.
A pure devotee of the Lord like Brahma and those in his line of the traditions always desire that the Lord to be known all over the universe by each and every one of the living entities. That desire of the devotee is always pleased by the Lord. The pure devotee of the Lord are always most dear to him, although he is always kind and merciful to all living entities. Here the word Gunamayam is a signification because it indicates the Lord's transcendental qualities.
So the desire of the devotee is always blessed by the Lord. A pure devotee is called as Satyakama, is also called as Satya Sankalpa, because whatever he desires, it becomes, it happens, and whatever he speaks, it becomes true. Like Prabhupada said, that only time is separating us between the temples, books, and so many devotees. And then we are seeing that whatever Prabhupada said is happening now. There are so many temples, there are so many books, and so many devotees. And Prabhupada also said there will be Temple of Vedic Planetarium. Now Temple of Vedic Planetarium is being built. So whatever a devotee desires, that desire is blessed by the Lord. And then it always becomes successful. And what is devotee's desire? Devotee's desire is that Krishna should be known all over the world. That is devotee's desire. In Purusha Sukta, there is a verse, Shakra Pravidwan Pratisashchatasraha. Means, what is the meaning? Means Indra is most interested in spreading the glories of the Lord in all four directions. He is going in all four directions and then he is broadcasting the glories of the Lord. So this is the this is the mood of the devotees, that they just want to make sure that the Lord is known everywhere.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Like the unhighlighted one.
Yes.
Like impersonalists, as the Prabhupada is explaining, because they are not glorifying the transcendental qualities. So impersonalists, definitely they will be like, they will not appreciate it. But sometimes like it's written, sometimes praise for the mercy of the personality of God. But they are not able to please. So what?
Yeah, as embodiment of material goodness. You see, this is their defect. They simply pray to Narayana because they think that Narayana means material goodness. So they are thinking that by praying to Narayana, we can raise ourselves to the platform of goodness.
No, my question is that
Yeah.
how they are going to be elevated, because if Krishna is not getting pleased.
Yeah, they will not be elevated, no. That's what they are only imagining, that they are getting elevated. You see, it is said in Bhagavatam, Vimukta Maninaha. Vimukta Maninaha means that they are actually imagining that they are elevated, but they are actually not elevated. That's why Maya makes a joke with them, no? What is Maya's joke with Mayavadis?
Forget Krishna.
Huh?
Forget.
No. Maya has a very good joke with Mayavadis. All this Krishna Maya, they are all bunch of jokers, okay? They keep joking with people. Maya has a nice joke with Mayavadis. What is that? Mayavadis reject the body as mithya. And then they attain their height of perfection, which is they go and read Vedanta Sutra. Okay? And after they read Vedanta Sutra and they read the height of perfection, what they come and do? They come and do social service. The very body they rejected, Maya forces them to do service to that body. These idiots don't understand what joke Maya is playing with them. They open school, they open hospital, and they engage in social service. This is what these Mayavadis do. All these Mayavadis are doing social service. That is Maya's joke with them. Hey, you rejected the body, go and serve the body. So, sometimes Maya's joke, devotee's joke, this is Krishna's joke, they are all very difficult to understand. But if you see, it's all very funny. They are all known for big institutions, big schools, big hospitals, big social work. And whom they are serving? They are serving Daridra Narayana. They are thinking that Narayana has become Daridra. Narayana become poor man. Going and serving the poor man. Poor man Narayana. Very funny. So much philosophy. You're not this body, you're this, your body is that. Neti, 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 neti. And then do what? And then go and feed some soup to this guy. Okay, please read. This is very nice purport.
The prayers offered by Brahma cannot be chanted by anyone who desires to fulfill his own sense gratification. Such prayers can be selected only by a person who wants to satisfy the Lord in his service. The Lord certainly fulfills all desires in regards to transcendental loving service, but he cannot fulfill the whims of non-devotees, even when such casual devotees offer him the best of prayers.
So, what is very striking in this purport?
Casual devotees offer best, but non-doing
The whims of man.
themes of the non-devotee even such
These
prayers
prayers
can be
are-
selected only by a person who wants to satisfy the
These prayers.
Prabhupada actually puts casual devotees and non-devotees in the same category. You see? Prabhupada puts casual devotee and non-devotees in the same category.